People do all kinds of egregious acts, some worse than others. Today I'm going to be showing you the 7 sins of Overwatch that new and veteran players should avoid alike. No one gets far on a one-trick pony. One trick can get rid of your versatility and your ability to play around the enemy counter picks. Some characters are worse than others. A solo main Zarya might not be that bad, but if they're a Widow one-trick for example, it turns you into an anchor for your friendlies on some maps like Lijiang Tower and dive like team comps. Too many times have I lost the game because of a Hammond main, Hanzo main, Genji main, name a character and you got it. There will always be someone trying to solo main them. You, being the great Overwatch player you are, had an amazing competitive day. Played 6 games, won 5, lost 1. Your trigger finger is on fire, your mouse is gliding across the mouse pad, you had a doctor's appointment in about 20 minutes so you're about to get off for the day. But then, your favorite duo partner hops on. But at the worst time ever, I mean you're going crazy, barely losing games, aim on point. Your homie joins the VC. Hey yo, Mr. White, let's play Overwatch, yo. Jesse wants to play, you can't turn him down. You know that a doctor's appointment is coming up, but you could make it. So many times have I or someone I know had to leave in the middle of a comp game for something like this. Just go play one dad versus 11 kids or something. Pride? What's pride? Is it picking characters because you were good and making your team play around it? Yeah, maybe. Or is it blaming your teammates? Another prideful option. But the problem with these is that they're just too obvious. But here today, I'm going to dissect a prideful act that flies under everyone's radar, from the player doing it to the enemies, even the teammates around them. You, oh so great D.Va main, your team is deplorable. You have 2k more damage than the enemy Rhine. You've done your part. What's the matter with the buffoons on your team? You check the stats and the healers are being slightly outperformed. It must be their fault. Teamfight after teamfight, you get wiped. Your team is being tantalized. Try and try, but they cannot win. Then the lonely Cassidy hops in VC. D.Va, I don't think this is working, man. Could you swap? You have 3k more damage than the Rhine now, and the healers have fallen even more behind. You swiftly snatch your mic and put it on. The obscenities you yell would probably get you cancelled on Twitter. Now, what many comp players don't realize is that sometimes damage means nothing. There are plenty of Tracer players that can get top damage without a single kill if they focus the Orisa all game. What the masses don't understand is that, of course, if you sink all your bullets into the tank, you'll have top damage, but nothing will come out of it. More damage does not equate to playing better. Every man, woman, child, or anything else who has played this game has been bad at one point. All these bad players want nothing more than to play against other bad players. It's how Blizzard designed competitive, even unrated, has an internal rating system. It was built to give everyone an even fight, allow those who are lower to slowly climb through the ranks as they get better than their peers. But there's one group of people that don't follow this rule, that don't want to see players improve and grow, and that is Smurfs. Now, most people at higher ranks in any game are guilty of this. It's fairly common, but for most purposes, a Smurf is more of an alt account. See, these are different. A Smurf intentionally is at a lower rank in order to boost their own ego or just fuel a god complex. An alt account is normally just a way to test new characters or have a second account to rank up on. Smurfing is never fun for the victims of. Seeing a Genji with 25k damage run through your team like a freight train can push anyone away from the game. Now, the 6th sin is hand in hand with Smurfing. Yin and yang, two sides of the same coin, you get it. In order for these Smurfs to hit these low ranks, can you guess what they have to do? Well, it's not hard. They have to lose on purpose, otherwise known as throwing. Throwing has the exact effect Smurfing does, but instead to the teammates around you. You watch as your funny Mercy main has her pistol out the entire game. The first push you probably won't even notice. Then you check the leaderboard. Now, why does Mercy have no healing? You check his account. Low level, default picture. The player just started. The account is new. You look at this Mercy. The eyes of a masochist. Watching the team lose with that pistol makes them happy. And, also, I'm going to break character for a moment to talk about throwing. I remember back in Overwatch 1, I literally had to wait about 2 to 3 weeks before playing my placements because there were so many people throwing in the lobbies. And then the same thing towards the end of the season. About a week before the season ended, there would always be a bunch of people throwing, at least in like mid to high plat where I was. And it was actually unplayable and drove me away from the game until they came out with Overwatch 2. So this one holds close to me because it genuinely made me stop playing the game. Now, if you have ever played healer with a bad tank, you know what it's like to be a newborn kitten in a pit bull kennel. No matter what you do, your flimsy healer ways cannot stop you from getting devoured by the DPS. This act of leaving healers is probably the most common thing that loses games in lower ranks, and it turns them all into Moira mains. Many people wonder why their Moira has more damage than the whole lobby, and it's because of the pain and torture they went through as another healer. They got sick of it and turned to Moira. If you want your healers to stay friendly and nice, I suggest you protect them better than yourself, because at the end of the team fight, only they can save you. Yo, what's up? Thank you so much for the support on my last video. I got so many nice comments and likes and everything, and it was seriously so inspirational. It made my week. I love y'all. Have a good day.